Ride along each week as we share proven strategies to strengthen your business, energize your team, and create the business success you've been dreaming about. And now, here's your host, Rich Allen.
What process are you using to consistently review and improve your critical business processes? Welcome to the Ultimate Business Tune-Up Podcast, where our one and only goal is to help you tune up your business so you can have the long-lasting success and fulfillment that comes from owning a solid, profitable, and sustainable business. Each week we dive deep into a single topic related to improving your business, improving your team engagement, or improving the relationship with your customers. Our topic this week is one that I consider to be a silver bullet when it comes to beating your toughest competition. Implementing a process to consistently and regularly review and improve your critical business processes. Now, I want to be clear with you. I know that there are no silver bullets when it comes to making a business successful. And there's no way to make your business bulletproof from the risks and dangers that are inherent in owning and operating your business. But today's topic comes as close as possible to being a silver bullet or making you bulletproof. And hopefully I'll be able to help you understand why I feel this way over the next 10 minutes or so. This is a topic that's talked about a lot. You can simply Google continuous improvement and you'll find 574 million search results on the topic. Let's just say there's been a little bit written and published on this topic. But here's what I find so interesting. With over 570 million search results on a single topic, why are so many business owners either unaware or uninterested in the subject? Or perhaps it's not a matter of being uninterested or unaware. Perhaps it's more about being confused about where to start or which process to follow or how to find someone who could help point you in the right direction. Well, today, I'm going to add one more search item to the list by sharing with you my specific experience with implementing continuous improvement. And if this goes well, I'll give you a step-by-step guide for getting started without getting confused. So let's dive in, shall we? My experience with continuous improvement started when I joined Pella Corporation. As a privately held company, Pella prided itself on a very high level of engagement with their employees. In fact, I would argue that most every significant advancement at Pella has come from the collective wisdom, knowledge, and involvement of their team members, rather than from some strategic planning or a senior-level think tank. It was built into the fabric of their culture to get every team member actively involved in making the business better each and every day, which is probably a very good place to start this discussion on continuous improvement. If you want to include continuous improvement as part of your business strategy, you've got to first be prepared to take the gloves off your team and let them get actively involved in finding new ways to run your business. If you're a control freak, you don't stand a chance. If you like being the idea person in your business, this will fail. If you prefer hierarchy and chain of command, forget it. Implementing continuous improvement into a business requires that you allow the majority of the new ideas to bubble up from the team. And let's face it, the reality is that your team members are way more aware and knowledgeable of the issues, problems, and inefficiencies that exist in your business than you do. So it only makes sense to let them be the ones who generate improvement ideas and implement new ways to get work done. That was just part of the culture at Pella, and it made the introduction of the idea of continuous improvement almost a no-brainer. The biggest challenge was to find the right method or approach to use. I recall the discussions that we had exploring several of the methodologies for continuous improvement. There were several to choose from, but we landed on the concept known as Kaizen, rapid continuous improvement. We worked with some outside consultants who had previously worked with Toyota as they introduced the Kaizen methodology across their factories. It was a perfect fit for what we were trying to accomplish. And to be honest, I firmly believe that it's the best approach for any small business. Here's why. Rather than establish a fixed team that dedicates its time and efforts to identifying waste, redundancies, and inefficiencies, it engages everyone in the business in a simple 5-step process that can be done quickly and then easily repeated over and over again. So Kaizen became a way of life for all of us at Pella. Each week, several Kaizen teams were working on making small incremental improvements in many areas of our business. I recall someone asking why we were so willing to allow our competitors to walk through our factories and see how our processes were working. There was never any question or concern about it. It seemed almost too easy for them to come and visit and steal our secret sauce. But because we were actively involved in Kaizen, rapid continuous improvement, there was a quiet confidence that showing them what we were doing today has nothing to do with how we'll be getting work done tomorrow. If you're familiar with playing hockey, they call this skating to where the puck is rather than skating to where the puck will be. The best skaters know that they must anticipate where the puck will be and skate there rather than trying to get to the puck by skating to where it is when they see it. By implementing Kaizen into our workplace, we had the same advantage. We were continuously moving the puck by improving and changing how our processes worked, so that our competition was always skating to where the puck was, not where it will be. You can do the same thing. You can have the same advantage, but you can't do it without implementing some kind of continuous improvement program into your business. And as you can tell, my clear recommendation is that you explore and consider the Kaizen method of rapid continuous improvement. So you're probably wondering, what is it exactly and how difficult is it to implement? Well, the answers are, it's a pretty simple 5-step process, and it's not difficult to implement at all. Let me share with you the 5-step process. Step 1 is to train your team. Obviously, before you ask anyone to perform a task or do a job, you want to train them on it. The same is true with being a part of the Kaizen team. You want them to know what's expected, how to behave, what their role is, and where the boundaries lie. At Pella, we used Monday as the day of training. Each week, when we launched a new Kaizen team, they would spend the first day, a Monday, training for their role. They would learn the terminology, the concepts, the roles, the responsibilities, the scope of their assignment, and the expectations that had been set for them. By the end of the first day, they were not only fired up to be on the Kaizen team, but their brains were already engaged in thinking about their assignment. And as a footnote, think about this for a minute. Isn't that what you want for everyone on your team, especially those who are new to a position or new to your team? What if after the first day or first week, your team member knew with clarity the terminology, the concepts, the roles, the responsibilities, the scope of their assignment, and the expectations you had for them? How much better would they do their assignment? How much more excited would they be to have joined your team? How much more confident would they be in knowing what to do and how to do it? Crazy thought. Perhaps you should stop here and just implement this first step into your business. This alone may be a game changer for your business. But sorry for the soapbox moment. We must press on. Step 2 is to map out the current process. Yes, before the team jumps into fix-it mode, it's critical that they first understand exactly how things are done today. You don't want to make changes without first thinking of every aspect of how things are currently working. That's the single purpose of day 2, Tuesday, to map out the current process steps in exacting detail. I prefer the high-tech approach of using sticky notes on a blank wall. We would have the teams use sticky notes to visualize how the work is currently being done, step by step, every step, every document created, every file updated, every handoff, every delay point, every approval required, everything. Again, this step alone may be a huge source of improvement for your business. In my experience, most businesses have never documented how work truly gets done. It's just been passed down from person to person, and it's never been written down or posted on a wall so you can see it clearly. But let me assure you, when you can see how work gets done in any process in your business, you can immediately see ways you could save time or money, how you could reduce redundancies, how you can improve the quality of the output, or how you could serve your customer better. It's an important second step in the Kaizen process. Know where you are today before you make any decisions or change anything. Step 3 is to brainstorm new ideas. Again, we dedicated a full day. Every Wednesday was reserved for brainstorming new ideas. Once you could see the current process mapped out on a wall, the team simply began making a list of things they could do to make the process better. As in all brainstorming sessions, no idea is a bad idea. They're just ideas, and every idea has value. We found that oftentimes the ideas that seemed to be way off or crazy were the genesis of some of the most brilliant, game-changing ideas that would ultimately be implemented. Far too often, new ideas are killed or dismissed way too early. That's why the team was not allowed to critique an idea. Just sit with it, ponder the implications, dive deeper and ask questions about it, and then add to those ideas. I particularly liked the yes and game when doing brainstorming. It's a simple game that goes like this. When someone makes a suggestion or has an idea, they state it or write it down, and then the only thing the rest of the team can do or say is to respond with yes, and they would add and expand onto the idea. By doing this, a whacked out idea can be transformed into a brilliant idea using the yes and approach. It's one you may want to try with your team. Okay, back to step number 4, which is to implement the best ideas. Once all ideas have been considered on Wednesday, all day Thursday was designated for implementing the best of the ideas. That gives the team the entire day to do things like move equipment, build a new jig, create new documents, revise a software program, or modify an approval process. This is truly the roll up your sleeves and get work done day of the 5 days. It's also why you want to keep the scope of the Kaizen effort on a very specific process in your business. You can imagine if you gave the team the assignment to redesign the entire factory, it would take weeks or months to get it done. But by keeping the scope tight and reasonable in size, the team can get the improvements done in a single day. I would suggest that this step number 4, Thursday, is the key to success. If the team can truly make the recommended changes in a single day, the business will be better immediately, the next day, not the next month or the next quarter. This is where you can blow the mind of your competition. You'll be making small micro changes faster than they can even think about pulling a team together. Which takes us to the final step, step 5, which is to celebrate the wins. We reserved Friday for the Kaizen teams to report out to the rest of the team on what they accomplished. This served a couple of important purposes. Number 1, it allowed everyone else in the business to know what processes had been worked on and what changes had been made. That way, on Monday, no one was surprised that things would be done differently than before. It gave everyone the chance to ask questions and truly understand the benefits of the changes that were being made. And number 2, it allowed the Kaizen team to be celebrated and recognized for the hard work and effort that they put in making the improvements in the business. This is something that's often overlooked in business. We ask a lot of our team members, but rarely do we give them the chance to stand in the limelight and get the standing ovation they deserve for their efforts. This step of the Kaizen process makes this a solid weekly occurrence in the business, and the team members love it. And one final footnote. You often hear that change is difficult or people don't like change. I totally disagree. What they don't like is that change often happens to them rather than by them. And when change happens, it's never celebrated, it's feared, which is why you have so many people that don't like change. But what if it were different? What if change was exciting and good and anticipated and participative and celebrated? I can assure you, your team members would not only embrace change, they would thrive on change. That's our goal with continuous improvement. So your assignment this week is to consider whether your business culture is ready for continuous improvement. And if not, start making the changes to let go and get your team involved in making your business better. Then do some of your own research on Kaizen and see if the simple 5-step process is right for your business. Perhaps you're not ready for all 5 steps yet, but as you can see, each step by itself can make a big improvement in your business. Whatever you do, make some progress this week. As I said earlier, this particular topic is as close to a silver bullet as you will find in business today, so don't ignore it. And as always, if you have specific questions about this topic, please don't hesitate to reach out and ask. I'd be glad to help you get things moving in the right direction so your team can begin to make your business more efficient, more streamlined, and more fun to work at. Lastly, share this podcast episode with a fellow business owner. They need to hear this as much as you did. Thanks for joining me today. Be sure to tune in next week when we're going to discuss winning new customers. You won't want to miss it. Meanwhile, if you have a question, suggestion, or would simply like to connect, shoot me an email at rich@tourtoprofit.com. Now go make it a great week, and whatever you do, ride hard.
Thank you for listening to the Ultimate Business Tune-Up. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes. In the meantime, find more resources at tourtoprofit.com and connect with Rich by sending a message to rich@tourtoprofit.com. Until next time, ride hard.